Spree doing a really good job of trying to keep up in this game, but it's still a Queen of Pain that doesn't have a lot of CS and is struggling to keep up in levels. So it's great that he's getting a killing spree, but he's still only level 7, and he's not going to be able to really snowball off of this. When it comes to last hits, he's in the bottom 5 of the game.
Putting pressure on that middle tier 1 tower with the physical damage of Fada. He's got 29 souls. They can easily take out this tier 1 tower if they're given another 10 seconds or so. Misery is actually coming over. He's got level 3 Nether Blast as well. But I doubt VG Gaming are going to give up such critical map control. In fact, they're now pushing aggressively against Fada, but they're not going to be able to find him, and Cloud9 inside of the enemy jungle will not be able to rotate in response.
Ice almost has that mech completed, and I think when he does, they want to get into these fights because they realize that the turnaround potential from C9 is kind of poor.
Oh, that courier sneaking away. Eternal Envy really wanted it. Still staying ahead. Eternal Envy, though, doesn't have the blink up.
Kao is trying to bait them there. They had the vision of that. They're going to spot Misery rotate. Going to see him mid right now, and I mean, nothing seems to be breaking C9's way right now.
Ice, he's got a haste room in his bottle right now. He's willing to play forward against Cloud9. Doesn't really matter how many heroes, simply because they do not have the stun. So Cloud9 going to focus on objectives again, not trying to go for the kill on Ice in any way. Knows that the tier 1 tower is the only thing they can take here. VG Gaming, meanwhile, actually staying away from these fights. But what you said just 30 seconds ago is what really scares me here, is the fact that VG Gaming are in a position where they almost want to go for fights once they have this mech, where, you know, early on, we're looking at the draft, and it was like Cloud9, you know, they're supposed to be the team fight dominators, and yet they've lost the landing phase so early on. Ice really got it for this kill, trying to pick it up, but now he's decrepified up. Fada still needs to be able to turn around and get out the ring to finish him up, but will not be able to now. Ice, he knows he's dead. He got the kill on the SF. He is happy. In the meantime, Super did claim also that tier 1 tower in the top lane. The Undying goes down as well.
Ice is just creating so much space around the map. The fact that a sniper with 800 HP was able to solo push a tier 1 tower from that much HP is pretty insane. And he also got the kill on the Shadow Fiend, who's struggling so hard right now. Fada's situation is so dire. He's got 0-3-1, only 56 CS, which is pretty pedestrian. When you're a Shadow Fiend, you expect to have around 65-70, including the jungle, but every single time he's built up any momentum, immediately ganked. And Ice just goes for the kill on him every single time, applies the pressure, realizes that he's really close to his mech. He's actually got it completed now, but Fada's nowhere near anything. And C9, in response, are finally going to start to push down towers. They realize, okay, the pick-off potential is a little bit too high. The laning phase didn't go the best, but we still have Tombstone.
But VG Gaming are going to go for the defense here. They just picked up the mech, and they're going to rotate in with a smoke on the courier. They're going to make a surprise jump here on Cloud9, who are probably assuming that they're going to be giving up these tier 1 towers just because of the natural teamfight dominance that their draft has given them. But VG Gaming, they're going to try and go. Starting off with Fada, they're going to jump forward. Fissure to start things off. Already the Tombstone is laid out, but Fada is gone, and now the Vacuum's going to be able to catch Misery on top of that one. The Decrepify is there on the Tombstone without any heroes to back it up. They're not going to be able to do much. The Blood Right is laid down. VG Gaming will all dodge it, and now Big Daddy No Tail's in a bad position. Eternal Envy comes in, throws out a big ultimate. Will be able to eliminate 2, but Eternal Envy with the blink forward is now going to be taken out by Super's Mask of Madness. Well, it looks like Bone7's going to fall as well with the Assassinate to finish him off. How dominating spree. Sniper as well. VG Gaming establishing a huge lead here in this game too.
That was such a beautiful trap that they set. The Earthshaker was in perfect position. They completely lock in the enemy team from C9, and they just were forced to fight, but it was such an inefficient position. They had both the Death Ward down and the Tombstone, but it made no difference because VG Gaming were completely prepared for that fight. That's typically a move we see where, okay, they're in too good of a position, we'll give up the tower, but VG Gaming weren't interested in that at all. Their superior positioning and the farm that they have right now is a little bit too much, as you're seeing the sniper pick pay off. He just sits in the background, waits for C9 to get over aggressive. You saw Envy blink forward, instantly turns it around.
Yeah, but the heavy stats-based build, double Wraith bans, one of them into a Ring of Aquila, and now the Mask of Madness. His physical damage is easily punishing certain heroes like the SF and the Queen of Pain. I feel like Bone7 as well is going to have a hard time if he ever comes into these fights. Last time he was just a bit too late to really capitalize on the positioning of VG Gaming.
Ice continuing to force somebody to come to that top lane and reveal themselves, but Fada not interested in that at all. He's had a rough time so far in this laning phase. He's going for the mech now, but an 18-minute mech SF isn't as scary as it would be around this time.
Right.
I think this speaks to what C9 want to go for. They realize the late game is just not there for them anymore. We have to go for the push, get a mech on whoever we can, and just go for it.
Super trying to finish up with Yasha. I also love the Sanj build here from how he's going to try and complete the S and Y, but the Sanj first just allows him to have that innate tankiness to survive through the first round of nukes. Bottom lane, they're going to try and do a little bit of harassment here. Misery actually gets brought very low from that assassination. That's going to become a big, big problem. Level 2 nuke, 485 damage from an assassinate. Guy like Misery, who's only operating on 606 max HP right now, doesn't stand a chance.
The annoying thing for him too, though, is that because they don't have a mech, any sort of natural regen for him,
right?
Anytime he gets sniped, he just has to go back to the base.
Yeah,
that's got to be so frustrating as a Pugna.
Yeah, especially since he is kind of a hero, particularly with the Nether Blast. He wants to be positioned forward. He has to get close enough to Nether Blast down these towers, but if he ever goes for it, he's immediately going to be assassinated. So it's a bit of a predicament here Cloud9 are facing. It seems like they've centered on, we can't really take the fight to Vici Gaming right now. We're going to have to farm up a couple more items here. The Blade Mail is now complete for Bone 7. That's a start. They also really need that mech for the SF as well.
That Blade Mail can be a game changer because it can neutralize the sniper for quite some time, but FY can just pop the Winter's Curse and counter it. They need at least a few more items on their course to be able to make this turnaround. Eternal Envy has to pick up a major item. The mech has to be finished on Fada, who's actually getting quite close to it. But once that happens, they're probably going to have to go for some sort of pseudo push, but he's being trapped in. They don't have a disable for him quite yet. Fenrir's a little bit further away. They're trying to bait this.
Grabs
he's not going to notice this.
And vacuum back. Echo slammed him. They locked him in. Eternal Envy didn't blink away in time. He thought he was fine, but a beautifully chain set of disables from Vici Gaming find the pickoff.
Did you notice that Fenrir just waited a little bit far behind? They knew that Eternal Envy was going to dip onto the low ground. He has no vision there. Throws the fissure. I mean, he just thought he was going to blink. Worst comes to worst, even if the fissure lands, but perfectly coordinated by Vici.
So things looking pretty bad here at 16 minutes for Cloud9. Already a 5,000 gold advantage for Vici Gaming. Bone 7's going to start working towards a medallion. They do still have that dire side advantage that will allow you to go for Roshan. Top lane, Fada's going to be charged here by Ice Ice Ice. Actually goes for the vacuum play. Eternal Envy is coming in, though. Ice 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 has to back up. He forced out the ultimate, and I think he's happy with that. He's like, just going to TP away. And this is the huge, obvious opening that Cloud9 presented to Vici Gaming in their draft, is that they just do not have any disables, so split pushing and playing it very aggressively like Ice 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 just did, always has an escape available.
It really helps when Ice 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 has 1,000 HP, that mech, a bottle to go with it.
Yeah.
So farmed at just 17 minutes in the game.
Oh, poor Misery, jeez. One rocket barrage. He just gets taken out immediately.
This is going to be in the mid tower right now for Vici Gaming. They're going to take this, but Ice 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 is going top to deal with Eternal Envy. He doesn't want the split push to happen, and How is positioned so aggressively. He has to be careful right now.
Why Cloud9 can't afford to group up too much, or there's going to be that Winter's Curse. But it looks like Vici Gaming don't really want to go for the fight here. Meanwhile, Eternal Envy has been chased away by Ice. They know, Vici Gaming know that they're in such a good position right now. They don't want to be giving away anything for free. Even a trade-off is not worth it for them at this point. So they don't continue to go for that tier 1 tower push and focus on the defense at top lane.
There's no reason for them to. They've got the better cores in the late game. They've got a sniper who can just hold his ground, fight non-stop, especially when he grabs a BKB. You've got a gyrocopter. I mean, we've seen time and time again, this hero is just a monster in the late game. That flat cannon, your call down is almost always useful. The rocket barrage destroys supports. So
7 gonna make the initiation here. Cloud9 desperately need to win this fight. Vacuum with the first share on top. Unbelievable display of coordination from Vici Gaming. Quickly win the fight. 3 heroes down to the side of Cloud9 and a tier 1 tower to be picked up for Vici.
That wall vacuum just completely ruined C9. They had no idea what was coming. Fenrir drops the Earthshaker fissure at the same time. No time for them to respond out of that. And with this is going to mean a tier 2 tower. There's just so many combination plays. We saw it earlier in the qualifiers, that Winter's Curse vacuum combination that they can throw out. And C9 is just struggling to stay alive.
Now they're just fishing for more. Ice 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 trying to go for the vacuum uphill with Fenrir coordinating a potential fissure block, but they didn't find anybody and will just have to content themselves with the tier 2 tower before the 20-minute marker. Not bad for Vici Gaming.
2 towers, 3 kills. I mean, Vici Gaming right now are just running over C9. They're not letting them catch their breath. EE, I think he wants to go for a BKB, but he's nowhere near it. And this Pugna pick is quite greedy, Austin. They actually have to accomplish a lot with him. They have to take towers, they have to get aggressive around the map. You have to utilize that Nether Ward, but before they can even get down lanes, Vici Gaming are already right there, ready to meet them. No time for C9 to prepare.
Do you agree with his choice to go for the maxed out Nether Ward secondary instead of delaying it slightly with a level in Life Drain? Given the added utility of Life Drain being able to heal up allies, I feel like it's more valuable than it used to be to getting that early level.
I think it's okay, but it's more just the fact that he realizes they need the Nether Ward. But
Super already throw the shrapnel in. They will be able to pick up the Aegis, but the question
they still want to fight
are
this.
they going to be able to escape? Big Daddy's thrown out the tombstone immediately, but he's easily going to be cleaned up by the Rocket Barrage. And what a great vacuum, pulling Misery back over that Fisher. The ultimate gets laid out from Fana, but he does not have a TP away. A second life means nothing if you die and die again. Super now grabs the illusion root, because why the hell not? Fana is going to be stuck, surrounded by 5, and Eternal Envy just sits there knowing he can't do anything to stop the massacre.
Yeah, he had opportunity to blink out, but it's almost like he's just watching stunned as his entire team gets wiped out. They manage to do the sneaky Aegis, but it doesn't even matter at this point. They do snipe the courier from Vici Gaming, but there's a blink dagger already available on Fenrir. It's not like the sniper gets weaker the later the game goes.
Burn Levy challenging Super, though I'm not sure why. There's no way he wins that man fight. Now that Super has completed Shreds, a couple of stat items such as Wraith Bands and Ring of Aquila. You've got that SNY on top. He's actually quite tanky. 1200 HP with agility treads on.
He doesn't know about the Earthshaker Blink Dagger. I think C9...
They're going to go for this one. Winter's Curse. They're going to lead with that one. No need to go for the Jump Echo Slam if the Winter's Curse is in range. 22-7. A dominant performance here from Vici Gaming. All they have to do is make sure they don't make any mistakes when pushing uphill. Of course, that's not going to be happening just yet. They're more than willing to sit back and farm up some more. Hal's going to be completing a BKB soon. Super. Plenty of big stat items he can go for. Team fight wise, what is your item choice as a sniper nowadays? I mean, we don't see too much of him in the current meta. He does go for like kind of a stat, very mid-game focused build, but now that he's running out of slots, you got to exchange that Wraith Band for something. Is BKB very valuable here, knowing that you're still dealing with a lot of magic nukes, or do you just go more raw damage, assuming that your distance is going to keep you safe?
I think he can completely just decide to go for raw damage right now. Keeping him alive isn't even an issue. I don't even think he's had to be Winter's Embrace once this game. Like, the curse is there. You've got Fenrir with the counter initiation of the Fissure and the Echo Slam that they have to worry about. The thing is, Cloud9, they just have so much to worry about. Even the supports are able to deal damage at this phase of the game when you're this far behind. And Fenrir, he's going to go for it.
There goes the Echo Slam with the assassination to finish him off. Wicked sick for Super with Fenrir leading the charge.
You don't have to build offensive items when the entire team just has to play defensive.
Well, they're going to poke uphill. They say, hey, if you want to take that Tier 1 tower, go ahead. We're going to go for your Tier 3 first. And sure enough, there goes the TP's back. Knowing they have to be able to mount some sort of response, it is just way too early for them to lose a Tier 3 tower like this. Misery being brought back. The long-range nukes are actually almost enough to finish him off. His own illusion almost finishes him. But Misery will just barely survive, in part thanks to the mech. The Tier 3 tower has been brought down to half HP, though.
Super doesn't have mana for this. There's no Echo Slam available. This might actually be an opportunity for C9 because
they don't even have the BKB on How. I think Vici Gaming perhaps are a bit too far forward. Cloud9 are sneaking their way around this one. They're going to be able to force the fight here. Big Daddy No Tail leading with the Tombstone, trying to slow everyone down. The Blood Right is laid out. Rupture being placed on Ice. They're going to focus on the Tombstone first, but there goes the vacuum. Nice vacuum with the Winter's Curse over the top. Still